So I made a video complaining about how life sucks, and out of nowhere the stock market starts going my way and things just start kind of picking up. So really, every feeling that you're ever gonna have is not only momentary, but literally there's no good or bad in the world. Pretty much everything in the world that exists right now, it's a product of, you know, you can say maybe divine, or maybe there's, we're going this way? Damn. My buddy likes to go on these crazy trails, so I don't even know if this is a path. So if you really think about it, all right, so let's look at an ant farm. Each of those ants, if they develop a level of consciousness that allows them to make decisions, they're probably gonna have a certain kind of propensity to do certain things. Because if you look at any species on the planet, anything that develops intelligence starts also developing a personality. And because of those traits that we develop, whether it's in our adolescence, our childhood, whatever, we create coping mechanisms, because again, nobody develops the perfect model of how to operate through the universe or the world or whatever. So, okay, what the fuck? I keep getting cut, and I know this place has super bugs. Whatever the fuck that means. Basically bacteria that eat your flesh. So if you get a cut mark, you gotta put hydrogen peroxide. Otherwise, you're done. You gotta get a surgery to remove like large amounts of pus from your leg. Like this dude in my hostel, he had to do a surgery that cost him like 3 weeks of his life. They can barely walk right now. So let's look at that. If you're the superbug, the bacteria, you're trying to live. You're not thinking, hey, I'm gonna fuck this guy's life up. No, you're thinking, oh wow, I need food, and there's abundant food right here. There's the guy, crazy guy, I'm telling you. He'll find the craziest hike. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's adventure, so I'm down for it, but look at this. The places you'll go if you just allow the universe to guide you. So the superbug example. If you're the superbug, your only concern is to survive. Just like how your only concern is to survive. If you think about it, you get food, shelter, then you have other time to do other stuff. Are we going this way? Let's go. Go ahead. And yet, to me, if I got hit by that superbug, it would be such a tragedy. Like, how could my human life be riddled with such a curse that I got a superbug from a cut in a river? So basically, anything that's good or bad that happens to you, if you just zoom out, you're gonna realize there is no good or bad. Like, there's a really good quote. I don't know if it's Marcus Aurelius or Plato, whatever. It's one of those Greek philosophers. He says that the small man blames others. The average man blames himself. The wise man understands there is no blame in anyone. Such a weird thing, because we're all a victim of our circumstance. It goes back to that argument of nature versus nurture. So what exactly is it? And scientists, I think, at this point right now believe it's 50-50. So your DNA plays a large part in who you're probably going to end up as. But your surroundings also play a large part. Like, if you keep exposing yourself to like mountainous areas, what's going to happen is your blood cell is going to go up. Your red blood cell count is going to go up because you start acclimatizing to that weather. And when that happens, you can just basically breathe more oxygen. But imagine doing that.
Hey, don't touch that.
What?
That rock in the leaf. Don't touch it.
Okay.
See right here? No, it's an opposite.
Oh, it's like a marker? Oh shit, okay. So we're so off the beaten path. We're leaving little markers around. So the funny thing is our marker is like a plant and a rock, which we're, if you see, oh, I guess this makes more sense. So it's like, it's wrapped up in a little thing. Oh, check this out. Anyway, going back to the nature versus nurture argument. It really is a factor of both. And that's the thing. As people, as human beings, we want solid answers to things. Like, we want things black and white, like a clearly defined thing. But sometimes, in fact, most times I'm finding out, it is both. Both answers are usually correct. So life is black and life is white at the same time. And it's cloudy too, it's gray as well. So if you have a situation where you feel like, oh, I can't believe this could happen to me. Oh, that's so crazy. Why would I have to get a virus in Hawaii? And now I have to go to the hospital and get surgery. Well, guess what? You was in Hawaii, dude. You were in a place with a superbug. And you're getting your legs cut up, shanked left, right, center. It's almost like, what do you expect, right? If you drive a car long enough, you're gonna get into an accident. And if you're in waters with superbugs, oh, one sec. If you're in a place that's known to have germs and stuff that literally can kill you, guess what? You stay there long enough, you're gonna catch something. Just how it is. It's a probability thing. So, going back to that quote. Oh, look at this. This is gonna be a mission. I'm gonna finish up this video here. Look at that. All right, so basically, if you really think about it, like let's say you follow National Geographic or whatever, if you ever watch Planet Earth, there's this thing where they follow a pack of lions or cheetahs or something in the middle of the desert. And you can see them hunt like this gazelle, a herd of gazelle. And what ends up happening is the gazelles actually, they're faster than the cheetahs. So somehow they get the fuck away. But then it zooms out because they filmed it through a helicopter. And when it zooms out, you can see that it's the cheetah family, like 2 or 3. And everywhere it's desert. So the cheetah doesn't know it, but we know that the cheetah's probably gonna starve to death because there's fucking nothing anywhere there. So for the cheetah, that's a tragedy. It's a horrible, horrible life. And you can think, oh, woe is me. I can't believe I can't find no food. I'm gonna die in this desert. But guess what? You probably have shit in your life right now, which you think is circumstantial to your case. So when you're going through all those problems, it really feels like almost the God or universe, whatever you want to call it, is like either testing you or attacking you or like hurting you, whatever. By the end of the day, it has nothing to do with anything other than the way you developed your coping mechanisms, and because of the way you develop your personality, you're gonna come to the same problems over and over again. So that's another thing. You're gonna find recurring problems in your life, and all that comes down to is the fact that you behave a certain way. So in my case, again, being impulsive with stocks. Of course, if you're gonna be impulsive and not necessarily the smartest person, you're gonna lose a fuck ton of money. That's just how it is. Conversely, if you're very precise and meticulous and like really, really work your ass off to figure out trends and all that, probably you're gonna make money. It's as easy as that. But what we do is we'll look at the winners of society and we'll say, oh, they got lucky. I wish I got lucky. But that's not how it works, because they clearly figured out something. If they come from poverty or they're broke, like again, there's cases where people inherit a lot of money, and their problems are different altogether, because no one relates to them. That's why they develop drug habits, all that. Like if you look at California, rehab, the amount of people that go to rehab, it's insane. But that's because they can afford that. They come from rich families. So their set of problems are completely different than your set of problems. And yet, you will always feel like your situation is either the worst or wow, I'm blessed, is the best. So at the end of the day, you gotta also realize you have a consciousness that you embody. Like you have a soul, or like you're perceived, like you're watching this YouTube video, I'm in Hawaii, whatever. But we're communicating because you, at a core, how do I put it? So really, at the end of the day, there's neither good or bad. It just is. Things are just the way it is. And if you figure out how things are, like the fact that we have cameras now, we have all this technology, it's because people before us figured out how things were. And so, the more you figure out the universe, for some reason the universe rewards evolution. Like if you look at every species, the ones that adapted not only survived, they thrived. Like they was crushing it. So if you look at stories of success, most likely they've, again, if they come from like a bad background, even if they come from a good background, like to go from a million to a billion is a whole different fucking ballgame. So someone like Trump, as crazy as you might think, like he's an evil person, to him, he's probably the biggest hero in his life. And the people around him are probably like, wow, this guy's crazy, this guy's amazing. But is it? No. He's just a product of his circumstance. His dad taught him a lot of stuff, and he was intelligent enough to escalate their family status from just a business to becoming the president of the motherfucking United States. What the fuck, right? Conversely, someone who's raised up in poverty, and maybe not even from, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. That dude from Austria, he goes to California, becomes mayor. But I don't think he would be president, just because his circumstances make it so that it's almost impossible for him to actually compete at that level. So is that a tragedy? No, it's just the way it is. So no matter what your life circumstances are, you can definitely change it. That's the cool thing. The universe, again, evolution, God, whatever you believe in, it rewards when you are persistent and you are really, really a humble student and you really learn something, it rewards you. So there is magic in that, and that's something you can control. So going back to the nature and nurture, that's your nature, like, or whatever, wherever your circumstances are, that's your nature, your environment, all that. But your nurture, you can control that. And so based on that, you can live a happy life. That's relative to yours. You might feel happy, again, in the big scale, none of it matters. It is what it is. But to you, you get the dopamine rush. So I think no matter what happens, you gotta go for it.
Away from park, hitched a ride.
So I'm on a back of a pickup truck right now. And in Hawaii, what you do is you just kind of ask people, and they're polite enough to give you a ride. Look at this. No seatbelts, no nothing. And you know what?